Hello, I'm Food Daniel, here to give you my predictions for Week 8 of the women's football season, the games to be played on May 20th. First, a couple notes about some remarkable games from last week, and there were quite a few remarkable games from last week. Philadelphia Phantoms shutting out the New York Sharks 40-0. I don't think anybody expected that. I know I said I was expecting a real close game, but yeah, Phantoms tore them apart. Wow. Hey, the Boston Renegades and Pittsburgh Passion had a very close game, 33-28. Boston wins. Very good to see that top-notch teams will have those close games. Flint City Riveters win their second ever game, beating the Derby City Dynamite 28-26. Good, exciting stuff. Let's see. Portland Shockwaves shutting out the Seattle Majestics 50-0. Well, the Majestics beat the Shockwave earlier in the year. I think it was something like 24-21. Now Portland beats them 50-0. Wow. Let's see. Utah Blitz beat the Utah Wildcats 60-0. That's the biggest blowout the Utah Blitz have ever had. Now, comes against a Wildcats team that has, I think, 13 players on the roster, but okay, I'm sure the Blitz will take it. Pacific Warriors beat the San Diego Surge 40-34. Wow. In their first matchup, the Surge won 41-40, and now the Pacific Warriors win 40-34. Colossal battles. Love it. Now, here's a strange one. The Sin City Trojans beat the Inland Empire Ravens 13-0. I'd like to know, was that game, did they play the full 60 minutes? Because that's very remarkable to me that the Ravens could hold Sin City to just 2 touchdowns in an entire game. I mean, if they really did hold them to just 13 points for 60 minutes, well done to the Ravens, absolutely. Yeah, Miami Fury beat the Jacksonville Dixie Blues 25-22. So the Dixie Blues, they haven't won a game all year, but they've had 2 very close losses to the very powerful Miami Fury. So hang in there, Dixie Blues. I mean, they're nowhere near as bad as 0-6 looks. Nowhere near. And the Colorado Freeze of the IWFL beat La Muerte de las Cruces in Las Cruces 21-13. Okay, so Las Cruces has played 3 games. They won their first by 2 touchdowns, and they lost their next 2 by 1 touchdown apiece. So this team is the Cardiac Kids. They play close games. I haven't heard anything about what the attendance was at this game they just had. Their first home game, they had about 1,000 people. I wonder if they had similar amount this time. I sure hope so. Okay, here we go. For the games to be played on May 20th. Full slate of games. Boston Renegades to Chicago Force. This is the one everybody's been waiting for. Except me. I'm not expecting much suspense at all. I think Chicago's going to win. I think they're going to win by right about 20 points, I'd say. Yeah, I think the Force are going to win this one quite handily. I know all season long I've been saying, Chicago is, a shoe-in to be league champs. I wonder if any Boston Renegades players are listening to this and what they're thinking when they hear it. I mean, are they looking at each other and saying, yeah, he's probably right? Or are they saying, now wait just a damn minute here? Most likely they're probably saying, who cares what some layman thinks? And that's the right thing to think. Because, I am a layman and you shouldn't care what I think. Except for entertainment purposes only. So, I'd love to be surprised. I'd love to see Boston win. Not because I want Chicago to lose. I just want to be much less certain that they're not going to lose. But I don't expect it. No, I expect Chicago to win by right about 20 points. New York knock out the Maine Mayhem. Maine's got this. Maine is one of the top teams in Tier 3. One of the very top teams in Tier 3. Maine Mayhem have got this. New England Nightmare at the Philadelphia Phantoms. Gruesome win for the Phantoms. Richmond Black Widows at the Baltimore Nighthawks. I expect the Nighthawks to win. By about 20 points. Keystone Assault at the Connecticut Hawks. This will be good. This is a pretty even matchup. I expect Connecticut to win. I could be wrong. Cleveland Fusion at Detroit Dark Angels. Cleveland will win this one. Detroit might be able to keep it close, though. Close, yeah. But yeah, Cleveland will win. Columbus Comets at the Toledo Rain. Columbus will win that one. Indy Crash to St. Louis Slam. St. Louis has got that one. Yeah, St. Louis ain't going to lose to nobody this year. Except for the loss to Chicago, of course. Yeah. Wait a minute, now I'm all screwed up. That's right, St. Louis's last game of the year is a road game against Chicago. Yeah, they won't win that, but they'll win all the rest of their games on their way to a Tier 2 championship. West Michigan Mayhem at the Madison Blaze. I expect Madison to win, but West Michigan could surprise. But no, I expect Madison to win. Here's a very interesting game. Carolina Phoenix to DC Divas. Okay. The Divas, coming off of 3 straight losses. When was the last time that happened? And getting shut out for the first time in the past 7 years. Now they're facing, one of the top Tier 2 teams. I think Carolina's Tier 2, aren't they? Let me see. Because every time I get it wrong, everybody posts and yells at me for it. Yeah, they're Tier 2 and 5-0. And, they took out the Tier 1 Atlanta Phoenix. So, this is a Tier 2 team that can go toe-to-toe with at least some of the teams in Tier 1. Could Carolina pull off an upset here? They might. I don't expect it, though. No, I don't expect it. I expect DC to win. Carolina will keep it close, though. They'll score some touchdowns. But I expect DC to win, yeah. Cincinnati Sizzle, the Derby City Dynamite. I expect Cincinnati to win. Cincinnati, they've got their stride back after that surprising loss to Flint City. Cincinnati will win. Tennessee Train at the South Carolina Smash. I'm predicting Tennessee to win this. I think Tennessee's going to pick up the road win. Tennessee hasn't won a game all year, but they have scored a few touchdowns. South Carolina, they do have 1 win. It'll pop up here as soon as my slow-ass computer decides it wants to cooperate. Okay, well, never mind the garbage analysis. I expect Tennessee to win. It'll be close. It'll be low scoring. Tennessee will win. I think so. Okay, Music City Misfits, the Huntsville Tigers. Okay, here's the South Carolina Smash. Yes. They've scored 2 touchdowns all season long en route to their 2-3 record. One of those 2 wins was a forfeit. So, yeah, not much offense from either one of those teams. But I'm going to predict Tennessee will win. Okay. Music City Misfits at the Huntsville Tigers. What can you tell me about the Huntsville Tigers and Music City Misfits? Well, in week 1, Music City shut out Huntsville 26-0. Okay, based on that, I guess I expect Music City to win again. So, yeah, I predict Music City. Tampa Bay Inferno at the Jacksonville Dixie Blues. Tampa Bay will win this one. Yep, Tampa Bay is Florida's best team. Okay, Daytona Wave Runners, Central Florida Shine. That's a double forfeit because the Shine, forfeited before the season started, and the Wave Runners, I guess they had to forfeit the rest of their season last week because they're too much depleted roster, roster attrition. It's a shame. I'm glad to hear that they don't intend to fold. They'll be back next year. I certainly hope they are back next year. Yes, indeed. I like the Wave Runners. North Florida Pumas at Miami Fury. Gruesome win for the Fury. Gruesome. Okay, Nebraska Stampede against Minnesota Machine. Machine win by forfeit. Minnesota Vixen at the Kansas City Titans. Well, the Vixen pasted the Titans when they met earlier this year, so I expect they'll win again. Yeah, fixing to win. Houston Power at the Arkansas Wildcats. That is interesting. What can you tell me about it? They have not played each other this year. The Wildcats have been scoring a bunch of points. Let me take a look at the Power. The Power scored a fair number of points too. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. No prediction. No prediction. I'm afraid I really can't tell. Their only common opponent, well, probably not the only common. Well, they have plenty of common opponents. Acadiana, Arlington, Austin. But it looks pretty similar to each other. They both, beat the Zydeco and lose to the Arlington Impact. So I'm afraid no prediction. I can't predict. Can't tell. Dallas Elite at the Austin Outlaws. Gruesome win for Dallas. Acadiana Zydeco at the Arlington Impact. Arlington will win that game. They'll win it pretty handily too. Yeah. The game I'll be attending, the Tacoma Trauma at the Southern Oregon Lady Renegades. Yes, I'm going to drive 5 hours north to Medford to watch the Lady Gades. I love having a team in Medford. It gives me a way to, once a year, see a Pacific Northwest team. There you go. I'm going to have a great time, especially because that's going to be a close game. That is going to be a close game. They played each other 2 weeks ago in Tacoma. And, where is it? There. The Tacoma Trauma beat the Lady Gates 20-13. And I expect it's going to be similar this time. I expect it's going to be close and low scoring, but I think the Lady Gates are going to win it. Yes, I think the Lady Gates are going to get their first win this year. Yes, indeed. Lady Gates have had some close losses this year. Lost to the Majestics 9-0, then lost to the Majestics 18-0, then lost to the Trauma 20-13. But I think they're going to win this one. Everett Rain at the Portland Shockwave. Portland's got this one. Mile High Blaze at La Muerte de las Cruces. Yeah, I really dig La Muerte de las Cruces. I love that they're playing close games. I love that they're drawing great crowds. But this is their first ever game against a Tier 2 team. So I hate to say it, Las Cruces, but Mile High is going to win this one. Yeah. Here's an interesting one, too. The Rocky Mountain Thundercats at the Utah Blitz. When they played each other at Rocky Mountain's place. I don't know if that's Denver or Colorado Springs or where. I think it's Colorado Springs. But yeah, when they played each other in Week 3, the Thundercats won in overtime, 14-6. How was it 14-6 in overtime? After you scored the winning touchdown, you went ahead and did the extra point anyway? But, yeah, an overtime game in their first game, so of course the rematch is going to be very interesting. And I think my Blitz are going to win it. I think my Blitz are going to come away with the win this time, yes. You watch. Blitz will win. Okay. San Diego Surge, the Central Cal War Angels. Well, the War Angels beat the Surge 44-7 in San Diego, so it's hard to not predict that the War Angels are going to win this one too. The War Angels will win this one, yeah. It's so odd. The Surge have lost 2 games in a row. That's the first time that's ever happened. And finally, Kern County Crusaders at the Inland Empire Ravens. Ravens have got this one. Especially if their defense is solid enough that they really can hold the Vegas team to 13 points in a full 60-minute game. Ravens will win this one. Kern County Their offense really doesn't have much. I mean, they scored 4 touchdowns against Ventura, but that's been the only points they've scored all year. So yeah, Ravens will win. And that completes my predictions for Week 8 of the WFA season. Thank you.